Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway, and today I'm going to try and find out which manufacturer makes the best model railway wagons. So back in November I was at Worley at the exhibition and I was looking around and I noticed on the Oxford Rail stand that they had some really quite nicely decorated looking mineral wagons for sale, 3 for 10 quid, which was quite a good price I thought, so naturally I bought 3 of them. Now I was thinking I could just review those and that would be very nice, but there's a tendency there for it to get a little bit dull. So what I thought I would do is turn it into a little bit of a competition to try and find out which manufacturer makes the best wagons. So today I'm going to look at the Oxford ones, and then in a few weeks time I thought I'd get some Hornby ones and take a look at those. Then a bit after that I'll try some Bachmann ones, and we'll pay really close attention to the detail, to the value for money, to the quality, and try and come up with a definitive answer as to which manufacturer makes the best wagons. Now if you ask me, my prediction will be that wagons are wagons. There might be small differences, but generally speaking I don't think there will be all that different to each other. However, we won't find out until we do these things. So let me have your little, well, guess up the top. Which do you think make the best wagons? And also if you'd like me to look at another manufacturer as well, let me know down in the comments, although don't mention the D word because I had a near breakdown experience with those egg vans. Right, let me show you which ones I bought from Worley then. So it was 3 for 10 quid, which is about the going rate at the retailers, but yeah, I just bought these straight off Oxford. Here they are, 3 wagons. Let me show you what they are. So 2 of them are 5-plank wagons, so we have this one here. This one is Tillman Stone Colliery, so it's a coal wagon presumably. Yep, quite some nice decoration on there, so I thought, yep, I'll take that one. I really enjoyed choosing these actually, it's really interesting. This one is the next one. This one is the Best House Coals Coppice. Again, beautiful decoration on there, so I thought, yep, I'm going to pick that one up. That's another coal one. And then I picked up a larger one. That's this one. This particular one is a 7-plank. John Facer and Company, London. I'm not entirely sure what that would be carrying. Still a mineral wagon of some description. So 10 quid each. Here they are. One's backwards. Here we go. Let's get these out then and find out exactly what these are like. Okay, so we'll go through these in no particular order then. We'll start with this one, shall we? Tillman Stone, rather. There we go. So as you can see, yep, looks pretty good in there, doesn't it? The decoration already looks to be really excellent. Whether that's just because it looks really nice in its box and I'm distracted from the fact that it's just like every other wagon I've had, I don't know. But yep, the decoration, or at least the lettering on the front there, looks really good. Here's what this particular one is then. So the product code for this one is Oxford Rail 76 MW5006, Tillman Stone Colliery 5-plank mineral wagon. So there we go, that's all there is to know. Let's get this one out and see what it is like. I'll be interested to know how heavy these are, because modern wagons do have a tendency to be quite light. Decent-ish packaging. It is a little bit unstable, but I'm sure it will have still done a good job of protecting the model. So let's take a look. Oh yes, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? There we go, Tillman Stone, really good. Okay, so for a tenner, that isn't too bad at all, is it? I mean, these wagons do seem quite expensive in general, not just from Oxford. Obviously, this is a fairly competitive price, but I think in general, 10 quid's a lot when it's just a little thing like this. However, as I say, looking at some of the applied details there, particularly the painted ones, you can see why there's a degree of expense involved there, especially when they're such high standards as these are. So, yep, that one looks really good. That one looks as though it's going to be a thumb up. Let's take a look at this one. This one is the Best House Coals Coppice, and once again I'll show you the end of the box. So product code for this one is OR Oxford Rail 76 MW5003, Coppice Cannock Chase, I think, although the E's just come off there, number 369, and that also is a 5-plank mineral wagon. So let's get this one out, and I think this might have been my favourite of the 3 that I chose, just because it's yeah, quite unusual. There we are in the sort of deep red that they've got on there, almost sort of brick red. Right, take this one out then, and I think these are all largely the same wagons, by the way. Even the 7-plank version, I think it is the same chassis, it's just got a different topper on it. But there we go. Yeah, as you can see, just look at the way that shines, where it says Coppice there and that sort of red panelling. It shines beautifully. It almost looks too good to be real. But yeah, that looks great, doesn't it? These are going to be beautiful. Can't wait to get these running on a nice little goods engine. It's going to be great. Okay, that one looks beautiful. And the last one then, which is of course the John Facer 7 plank. There it is, and this has got the price on it, £12 normally. So they've got a good discount there actually. That's £6 off, isn't it? Not too bad. Weirdly, there is no label on the end of the box. You have to look on the back there. I bet the retailers love Oxford for that. So there we go. That's the code right there. It's OR76MW7010 505 John Facer and Company, London, mineral wagon. And as I say, yeah, this version is a 7 plank. So let's get this one out there and see what this one's like. Almost, yeah, almost reminds me of a khaki green, this one does, or grey, whatever you want to call it. It's, yeah, it's definitely got a bit of green in it, hasn't it? Quite like that. So any wartime fans out there, I'm sure it's not that colour because of wartime, but yeah, it just invokes that sort of thought, doesn't it? So there we are. Really, really good, that one. Yeah, I love the colour. Definitely not got a wagon in that colour already, so that's going to be great. So let's bring these together then. Here we go. There's the Tilmanstone one, and there's the Best House Coles coppice. Don't they look great? So decorative, really. Absolutely beautiful. So let's take a close look at some of these. It will be a brief look, but we'll try and cover all bases with it. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go then, Wagon the First, and doesn't that just look absolutely beautiful? Now, to my mind, £30 is quite a lot to pay and get just 3 wagons. I'm used to buying crusty wagons where I'd probably get, I don't know, probably 10 for £30. However, just looking up close at the quality and the presentation on these, I still don't feel as though I got a bad deal. I'm actually quite happy to have paid what I did for these because, as I say, they just look fantastic. So note that down for the competition. Reasonably expensive, but you certainly seem to get what you pay for. These weigh in at 22 grams, or at least the 5 plank wagons do, which is a little bit on the light side. It is noticeably light, much lighter than wagons of, 30 years ago used to be. However, it doesn't seem so light to the point where it's going to cause derailments, and at least not being too hefty, a loco should be able to manage quite a lot of them, but we will see how that goes once they get down onto the track. So let's take a look at the underframe then. One thing I love is that the wheels are lined. You've got the white lining around the wheels, plenty of underframe detail. You can see these sort of brake rods or levers, whatever they're called. They appear to be separately fitted, and very fine they are as well. There's loads of paintwork underneath the actual wagon load part. Absolutely loads of the details have been picked out there, and it looks beautiful. The actual lettering and transfers on the side of the wagon, though, are absolutely gorgeous. I love that even under where it says colliery, you've got little instructions, presumably for the shunting people. Really, really top notch, isn't it? All of the applied detail is just superb. And as you can see inside, we do have a different colour. You've got the sort of brown plank effect on the inside, which looks great as well. We do have the NEM couplings, as you can see, which have been pre-fitted. They are the tension lock slim type, but obviously being NEM, you can swap them around. We have metal buffers, so note that one down. No plastic buffers on this. They're not sprung or anything, but they are metal, so that's one thing. And there's an awful lot of moulded detail, as you can see, all over the thing. Looks just wonderful. So that is the Tilmanstone wagon. Absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at Wagon the Second. And I reckon this one is probably my favourite of the 3. You'll have to let me know in the comments which yours was. But yeah, I just like this one myself. So the underframe, as I've already said, is largely similar, although as you can see, the actual printed details are slightly different. As you can see though, yeah, just the transfers, I don't know if I'm right to call them transfers, the painted detail anyway is just gorgeous on that. Like I say, the glossy finish to those wooden planks is just wonderful, and it cannot be faulted. The printed detail is so fine, but it's applied so perfectly that it just looks superb. I can't remember seeing wagons with this level of perfection on them, so that's really great. Once again, inside, I think it's largely the same, isn't it, really? Probably exactly the same, more or less. Consistency is good as far as I'm concerned. And then on the end, as you can see, not so much painted detail going on there. Still looks great, of course. And you've got the same couplings and buffers and such. So, yep, that one also gets a good thumbs up. Right, let's get on to the third wagon then. That's the 7 planker. So this one looks great as well. As I've already said, I love the colour of this one. Once again, the underframe appears to be largely the same, although I will just give you a quick pan across there so you can see some of the different painted details. Once again, the decoration is superb. There's some tiny text there. Now this one is a little bit different, as you can see, at least where the top part is concerned. Yes, it's a 7-planker, but the support structure is different on the front and back. So, well, on this side, it's left or right, depending on which way you look at it. You can see we've just got the sort of painted on supports here. Presumably in real life they would be some sort of metal to strengthen the structure. And then on the left hand side we've got a different sort. I don't know whether they would be wood or there wouldn't be big like steel struts, would they, or something. But either way, yeah, quite interesting to note that there are some little differences between the different wagons Oxford make, which is really cool. Apart from that though, yep, it looks superb, doesn't it? So there we are, you've now seen all 3 wagons. They're all pretty consistent when it comes to the decoration. They're all consistent when it comes to quality. I can't find any bits dropped off them. All the buffers are intact, the coupling hooks are all on. Yeah, it really is good stuff. So let's get them down onto the track. We'll see how easy they are to haul, make sure they stay on the track when they're supposed to, and I don't know, we'll get some trains running. Okay, let's give that a shot. Okay, so we are down onto the track. As you can see, I've set up an Oxford Dean Goods. Thought we'd go with an Oxford theme today, with some Oxford Rail ICI Salt Division wagons, which I think look pretty good. And they're ready for their first ever time on the track. I have the 3 wagons lined up right here. So let's put them onto the track then. We'll start with the Coppice one here, my favourite, and see how nice and free rolling they are. And that seems pretty good actually, doesn't it? So what I've done is I've devised a bit of a test so that we can compare how free rolling wagons are from different manufacturers rather than just me fiddle with them with my finger here. So it's a bit of a fun test. I call it the hump shunting test, where I just stick the wagon at the top of Gordon's Hill and let it roll all the way down and see how far it goes. So what I've done is, as you can see, I took the Coppice one and set it up there, let it roll down from a specific starting point. And as you can see, it stopped with its front wheels just lining up with a gap in the sort of greenery in the foreground there. So someone write that down and we'll bear that in mind when I come to the Hornby and Bachmann version of this video. But yeah, seems to be fairly freewheeling, don't they? Let's see if this one's all right as well. Let's get them coupled. Yeah, that's really quite good, isn't it? And I found that with a lot of the Oxford stuff. Let's try it with the last Tillmanston one then. Let's move these back out of the way, couple that to the towed brake van. Yeah, that one perhaps is a little binding a bit more, but certainly not bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. Right, let's get them coupled then. The couplings all function. Did you notice that, folks? Let's hope a certain other manufacturer takes note of that. And then couple it up to the ICI wagons. Right, let's get them started and see how they perform on the track then. Dean Goods, take it away. Here we go. Ooh, they look lovely in motion, don't they? Cool. Alright, wait, let's watch them try and get over my dodgy curve here. Yep, no problem. That's the worst part of the layout, so if they can do that, they should do the rest. Yeah, I am actually really pleased with those. They fit for purpose, they look fantastic, and they weren't dreadfully expensive. So overall, I think they have set the bar reasonably high for the other manufacturers. Very, very good stuff indeed. Yeah, lovely. What do you reckon then? They're quite nice, aren't they? Do the job. I could do with a few more of them, actually. Imagine a big long train made up of wagons of that sort of quality. Well, I ain't that rich, so sorry. Maybe one day. Look at them, they just stand out, don't they? Look at the way that you could read the text from all the way over here. That's not really the case with my old wagons, as much as I love them, and as much as they've got charm, and as much as they were the only things I could really buy a lot of. But yeah, these are something else, aren't they? Right, let me show you what else is running then. I think you've just had a little glimpse. And by the way, I'm going to try and get an affiliate link down in the description with a selection of these beautiful wagons so that you can check them out yourself. So do check that out if you would like to see what's available. There's quite a lot of different ones and they start from about £10. So if you'd like to see the range, do check the link in the description. Then on the middle line I have a 4F with some Oxford Rail ICI hopper wagons, which are also really good bits of rolling stock. And then on the very inside line, another classic piece of Oxford rolling stock. I certainly wouldn't call it a wagon though. It is the Bachmann City class hauling the Bosch Buster railgun. So enjoy the running session. Well, they have now completed several laps around the track, and as I fully expected, they have not derailed once, which is beautiful. Because it means rather than being distracted by putting things back on the track all the time, you can enjoy your trains, which is what they're for. So yeah, a very, very good set of wagons, those. Love them to bits. So let's give these beautiful Oxford mineral wagons some ratings then. So I've given the detail a 5-star. Yes, beautiful. True, we've got the metal buffers, metal wheels, proper couplings, loads of underframe detail, but just the decoration is what tipped it over the edge for me. Can't be any other than a 5-star, I don't think. Performance, can't fault them. Yes, they're a little bit light, but they stay on the track perfectly without derailment. They handle all sorts of different curves. Absolutely spot on with the performance. Quality, I've given it a 4-star. The quality is great, the build quality is fantastic, no messiness in the application of the liveries whatsoever. I would say they're a little bit light and possibly a bit plasticky. If they were going to get 5 stars, perhaps a little bit more metal work would have been good. However, how likely that's ever going to be for a reasonable price, I don't know, so it's not a complaint really. And then value, I think for £10 each, these are pretty good. I wouldn't say they're dirt cheap, I wouldn't say they're complete bargains, but for what you get, I would say it's a reasonable price. So you have a good value mark there then. So overall, 8.91 out of 10, a very, very good score into the rolling stock logbook. And there it is, first, or they are rather, just above the Hornby LSWR brake. Very good stuff. So that is an incredibly strong start from Oxford on this little competition for who produces the best wagons. Yet the other manufacturers have got their work cut out for them, haven't they? Maybe Bachmann's are going to struggle on price, maybe Hornby's are going to struggle on the level of detail. We shall have to see, but make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you see part 2 and part 3 of this video series, and we'll see what happens. I'm actually quite excited. Right, well, thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for your company. Have a great week, and I will see you very, very soon. All right, cheers, everybody.